Late last year, I was gearing up for Valencia Marathon and I got a stress reaction in my femur. I had to have a few weeks off. From there it was basically just trying to gear up for a marathon as soon as I was going to be fit enough to do that. So I decided on Osaka Marathon. 大阪の中心を巡る 42.195 キロ。数々の名所も登場します。And then trained really hard over summer and did everything right. So I was being quite extreme, I would say, in all aspects of life. Like I wasn't really socialising all summer. I wasn't going out for dinner. Like I was so strict. I was basically trying to do everything perfectly. I was really rigid with doing my gym, doing the heat training. So I was running in the shipping container beside the house there with heaters on in the afternoon on the treadmill, cross training more than I normally do, trying to train to the level that I had to be at to have any chance of making the Paris Marathon team. And then went to Osaka, I got through halfway I think in about 2:23 flat pace, which in hindsight was maybe a little too quick for the conditions on the day. It was fairly cold and raining, and then things started to fall apart in the second half. My legs went first. They started to go and then I started to slow down, and then once I slowed down I got really cold, and at about 30k when things had started unravelling I had a point where I had to try and make a decision, or should I step off now and try and reboot for another marathon, or should I try and finish it off? And I decided to try and finish it off. Anyway, things got even worse from there and I ended up DNFing at 35k with hypothermia. I still had time to sort of have one more go. The Olympic qualifying period ended in early May. I was able to get a spot in Hamburg Marathon, which was the end of April. So I think we had about 8 weeks maybe between the two, 7 or 8 weeks, which I've never really done a backup marathon like that before, so it was kind of unknown territory.
Ellie Pashley scheint sich auch.
I didn't really feel as fit as I'd felt in the Osaka block, but I went to Hamburg thinking, maybe I'll still have a go at it and see, and even if it doesn't happen, maybe I can still run a PB. I felt terrible from the start. I tried to go with the pace. There was like a 2:23, 2:24 pack. So I jumped in with them for the first 3Ks and I was like, no, this just feels really hard. I need to slow down. So then I went back to the next pack and then, just faded. Got to the finish, 2:29. I guess mixed emotions. Like I felt like the last 6 months had probably been fairly stressful from the get-go since that injury, and I was just chasing fitness and it was so time focused because I knew that I had to run a lot faster than I've ever run before to have any chance of making the Olympic team, so everything was geared around that. There was a lot of disappointment obviously after Hamburg, more so than in the past. I think now having a child, so grandparents on both sides helping out, I just felt like I didn't want to disappoint anyone or not get the result that I'd been going for because of all the help I'd had to get there. But in some ways it was also like, the pressure was finally off, and I want to have fun with my running now for a bit, and I want to do the races that I enjoy. Like Great Ocean Road I've done, I don't know when I did my first one, years and years ago. It's like definitely not about time, obviously. It's a fairly hilly course, you never know what conditions you're going to get. It's like a local race for us down here on the coast, and I think, because I don't have to be so focused on time and running another fast marathon again in the next few months, it's kind of nice to be able to mix things up, do some cross country, do this race, maybe a couple of other half marathons, and get back into things in an enjoyable way. definitely not feeling very fit right now, but being back here, this race I love. I've done it lots of times before, and you know, it was hilly, the conditions weren't good, but I kind of like those type of races. And there were actually 3 of us up the front. We ran sort of 21, 22 Ks together, and it was just fun. Yeah, no pressure, just enjoying being back racing. Like, I think traditionally I loved racing, and that's still ultimately why I run. Like, I like competing. I'm a competitive person, and I guess I get a bit of a thrill out of that. But I think I've grown to love training, and I mean, we're so lucky down here. There are so many beautiful places to run. Everywhere you go, you can use it to explore. It's a lot of my social life now. You know, I've been part of the running community for a long time, and yeah, weekends like this, you come away with your friends, you compete in a race, and then you get to have a bit of fun afterwards. And yeah, I think that's ultimately why I do it and why I want to keep doing it.